Looks like Donald Trump and Stephen Miller are desperate for help. And this is what's going on then. Desperate Stephen Miller begs for more, quote, patriot DOJ goons. The political advisor urged lawyers to inquire about jobs through direct message on social media. What is this? And there's Stephen Miller there. I guess he was writing, if you want to combat fraud, crime, illegal immigration, reach out. Patriots needed. And this is another one of their people. If you are a lawyer, are interested in being an AOUSA and support President Trump and anti-crime agenda, DM me. So we really are doing this through social media. We need good prosecutors, and DOJ is hiring across the country. Now is your chance to join the mission and do good for our country. Here's the thing with this stuff is most of the good people, if not all of them, have already left, quit, or don't want to have anything to do with the Trump regime. I mean, it's obvious. And it's also obvious that things are indeed going bad for them if they have to go on social media. Hey, DM me to join Trump's goon force. Great. And who can blame people? Because, when you see the headlines of all the stuff that's going on, there was a recent Epstein files drop, and now you have these kind of headlines, right? Woman told FBI Trump abused her at 13, and there's all kinds of stuff coming out. Like, who would want to be associated with anything Trump? This is completely toxic. Or you look at, like, they just made the Melania movie, and the director that they hired, Brett Ratner, has all sorts of things against him. You don't want to be just tied to any of these people, right? Is that Diddy in that one? It is. And even Diddy's in the photo. You know who Diddy is. Sean Combs. You don't want to have anything to do with these people. They're bad all around. And I think you've watched the channel, you already know this. But I do want to show you what's going on because there are people who are pushing back. And right now there's a struggle, I would argue, for America's soul is a good way to put it, right? And for the Trumpy world, they basically don't have a soul. They sold their soul long ago. They worship at the altar of money, corruption, greed. Not everyone's on board with that, though. So, for example, this is the battle in USA. A Minnesota school district guards against ICE from dawn to dusk. And then it says here, Minneapolis suburb officials are driving nervous teachers and buying families groceries. At dismissal, the superintendent patrols for federal agents. And I've heard from people in our community to where school administrators and teachers and such will message each other, basically saying, hey, there's ICE vehicles outside the school, keep the kids safe, or they'll cancel recess, this kind of stuff. It is a bad situation all around, but it also shows the strength of many communities who are resisting against ICE. If you report on what they're doing, what the Trump people are doing, this has been a recent thing. Starting Friday, we talked about this. So Don Lemon was arrested. Georgia Fort was arrested. I guess now they've been released, and they're going to go through the process of probably suing the government or otherwise. All this stuff is going to end up costing the taxpayers a lot of money. But every time Trump does something right, then you have to go allocate resources to this battle. They're just picking fight after fight after fight. Minneapolis police restaurant manager challenged Vance's accounts of protesters mobbing ICE officers. And so for the Trump people, this is all a social media war for them, right? They'll just tweet out accusing people of various things, and then video and tapes come out. And this is why these days and age, you look like a total moron if you lie about stuff, because we all have cameras. Like, we can all see it for ourselves. And then when you do see the footage, they'll try to gaslight you and say, oh, no, you didn't see that kind of stuff. So let me show you this, though. This is some recent polling data, and just to let you know that not everyone out there is completely whacked out. Many Americans lack confidence in Trump on several measures, including his ethics in office. Wow, you think? So this is the Pew Research Center. And again, it's just good to see this stuff. You're not alone, all right? Has leadership skills to do the job? Not at all. Not two. That's 51%, right? Has mental fitness to do the job? 52%. Not at all. Not at all. Not two. Not at all. So basically, people who don't like Trump. Has physical fitness to do the job? Not at all, right? 50%. Let's call it not at all. It's easy to do this. Picks good advisors? Not at all at 57%. Okay. Respects the country's democratic values? Not at all at 59%. And acts ethically in office? 60%. Not at all, right? And you have the extremely varies. So that's in the 20s to 30s, right? So that's essentially been the common polling data on Trump stuff. And you can see that this stuff is all going down for him, right? Republican confidence in Trump to respect the country's democratic values, act ethically, and office declines. So they're definitely losing support, and then it's no wonder they go to social media to beg people to come work for them. That's what's up.
I think someone needs to call 911. They are seriously attacking me.
We'll call 911 right now.
Yep.
What's your location?
Call 911. I'm right at the corner of Jefferson. Nope. No, I will not. I will not get out of the car. No. No. I will not get out of the car.
And this is obviously very scary, right? It says DHS agents in Minnesota swerved in front of an unarmed woman who was recording them. Once again, walk in front of a car with guns drawn. The only thing they've learned from Renee Good is how to get away with killing people. A local cop intervened to stop the illegal arrest. Wow. This is really scary. I mean, you can see kind of where they are. We know the history of what these people are up to. We'll watch a little bit more here.
You guys, I need CEOs here
Get
now.
out of the car.
No, I will not get out of the car. You
Get out
can't
of the
do
fucking
this.
car.
Get your hands off of me. Get your fucking hands off me. Get your hands off me. I am not doing. I am observing. I am observing. I have not done anything. This is my constitutional right.
We're calling 911 right now.
I am not. You cannot arrest me. I'm observing. You can't arrest me. I'm observing. You cannot. I am not doing
We're
anything.
taking a video too.
Get off of me. Get off of me.
You're under arrest.
Get. Someone call the MP or someone call the police. Please.
Somebody help them.
Call the police. Call the police. Call them now. Call them now. Call them now.
We're calling 911. We're calling 911. They're calling 911 right now.
And that's where we are in the USA. I know it's disturbing to see this stuff, but you need to know what's going on. Not everyone wants to be part of the Trump stuff. And in this regard, yeah, call the cops, right? It's a crazy thing that we have to do is we have to call the cops on these federal agents, DHS agents, however you want to call these people. The whole thing is insane, right? And then when you look at what Trump is up to, he wants to build more golden arches. And so for me, when you lay this all together that's going on, it's obvious the corruption, greed, and the stuff that Trump is doing. To me, it's obvious. And I think more and more Americans are seeing it as well. As you can see, he's losing support of Republicans, Democrats, and independents, right? Trump wants to build a 250-foot tall arch dwarfing the Lincoln Memorial. And we saw that woman the other day where I showed you guys where, she said I was a Trump voter the first time around, but now he just thinks about himself. I mean, anyone can see it. It's obvious. So where are we building this stupid thing? I see. So between the Lincoln Memorial, Arlington House, so across the bridge there, he wants this big arch. Huh. And then it's going to be look east toward D.C. from the Arlington Cemetery, looking toward Virginia from the Lincoln Memorial. And while people are struggling to put food on the table, that's all Trump is interested in, is building these big monuments that no one's asking for, just Trump. And then you have this. So we have a fight on the streets, we have a fight in the Congress, and then we have a fight in the courts. Minnesota ICE surge upheld as judge finds balance of harms lacking. And I think this is going to keep getting challenged in court. Let's see what the details of this one is. So surge of immigration agents in Minnesota, so that's essentially what you saw on the street there, can continue. A federal judge ruled on Saturday why it matters. The decision is a win for the Trump administration, which argued that, quote, Operation Metro Surge, that's what we're calling this, has succeeded with thousands of arrests. I guess if you call that a success. The decision from U.S. District Judge Catherine Menendez comes just days after 37-year-old Alex Preddy was shot and killed by federal agents. What she's saying. Ultimately, the court finds that the balance of harms does not decisively favor an injunction. So we're going to stop it or not. Menendez noted that the plaintiffs made a strong showing that Operation Metro Surge, quote, will likely continue to have profound, even heartbreaking consequences. That's coming from the judge, so they know that there's certainly bad situations happening from what they're doing. What else did she say then? She said, quote, additionally, there's evidence that ICE and CBP, Border Patrol, agents have engaged in racial profiling, excessive use of force, and other harmful actions. Okay, so I see two bad things here: heartbreaking consequences, excessive use of force, racial profiling, and harmful actions. However, those are not the only harms to be considered. Okay, what else do you have? The lawsuit filed earlier this month by the state of Minnesota and lawyers for St. Paul and Minneapolis alleged that Operation Metro Surge was fueled by administration's, quote, desire to punish political opponents and score partisan points. The suit argues that the federal crackdown violates the 10th Amendment, claiming it infringes on state authority and amounts to coercion. Minnesota officials say the surge has terrified residents, and this is sort of what we're seeing with that one video, and interfered with local and state abilities to serve constituents. Worth noting, the suit does not end all immigration enforcement in the state, but rather targets the, quote, unprecedented surge. The other side, the federal government has dismissed the state's argument as absurd and legally frivolous. Quote, the 10th Amendment does not afford an ejectment action for states who are dissatisfied with the federal government's enforcement of federal law. And in my opinion, if you just want my general opinion on this stuff, it's really for me about due process. I think that's the biggest one, and the Constitution, right? So I have no problem if you're, as Trump said, if they really were doing it, say going after the worst, the criminals or whatever. The problem is that they're not doing that. They're just arresting people wholesale, and I think that's a major, major problem. Lack of due process, not giving people an opportunity to speak to a lawyer, even the racial profiling one, right? So like you may not do anything wrong other than looking the wrong way or having an accent. I mean, obviously these things are massive issues. But the problem is, though, you're still dealing with whatever 20-30% of the USA are just completely whacked out. And that's essentially where we're at right now. And what I think, that's why I mentioned with the first story here, desperate Stephen Miller begs for more, quote, patriot DOJ goons, shows you that most people don't want to go along with the Trump regime, and anyone who knows the law, which obviously lawyers would, that's why they have to beg people to do it, because lawyers especially would know, don't get involved with the Trump people. So I think this thing is completely unsustainable, and that's essentially what we're watching here. I do appreciate your time. I'd like to hear your thoughts, and I'll catch you on the next video.